I want to tell you why you should not be looking to quit your job yet. Let's get started. Welcome back to Career Ending Opportunities. I'm Simon Knapp, and every week here on the channel, we look for ways to change career, start a new business, find a new job, ultimately find personal and financial fulfillment in everything that we do. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. As John Acuff says in his book, Quitter, keeping your job allows you to stay dangerous. When you decide to change career, quitting your job might be your go-to first move, and sticking it to the man might be your number one priority. But simply put, that would be a mistake. By keeping your job, and thus your income, you're not instantly hit with worries about how you're going to pay for your house, your car, food, and if you're the one person in the family that actually pays for it, Netflix. By making a mental break, but not actually quitting your job, you take back quite a lot of that employer-employee power dynamic. And that's definitely a good thing. It allows you to start taking more risks. It allows you to think, hey, I'm going to write that book that I've always dreamed of. Or it allows you to start freelancing, being in your current field or in that new niche that you're looking to explore. Most importantly of all, it allows you to try something and fail, try something else and fail again, without ever having to worry about where the money for bills is coming from. You're in the same financial position, you're just being smarter with your time. For example, and this will probably annoy any of the flight crew that are watching these videos, but why change the habit of a lifetime? Whilst I was flying for British Airways, flying the 320, I realised the life just wasn't for me and that I was gonna have to leave. But rather than going to the office guns blazing, quitting straight away and walking off into the sunset with no idea where I was going, I spent 3 years getting my ducks in a row, teaching myself new skills and finding a stepping stone job that allows me to go through the whole process. I've often talked about the path that I'm on changing career, and I'll link to a video up here which will give you more details if you are new to the channel. So along with finding the stepping stone job, I also started creating my own apps and building out a portfolio. And that portfolio is really something that gives me the authority to freelance. It's a proof of work that makes the potential employer realize that I'm not just Joe Schmuck, I can actually do what I'm suggesting I can do, most of the time. So is there anything stopping you following suit? Is there anything in your life that's preventing you from making plans to change career? Let me know in the comments. There's always excuses, but is there any real valid reason that holds you back? And it might be something as simple as fear. It could be something as complex as you are a MI6 agent working undercover in the Kremlin and it's quite difficult to become a golf pro. I don't know. Right now there's a chance that the airline I work for could go bust over the next couple of months, and I might be forced into a hard decision and changes to the whole plan that I have far earlier than my wife and I intended. But rather than worry or stress or quit in blind panic, I'm adopting the mindset of stay dangerous. Right now, I'm proactively chasing freelance work and looking for new projects to work on. And you could be doing the same. There really is no such thing as a 100% completely safe or secure job or career, especially with the rise in automation over the next 5 or 10 years. So whilst you're sat there not quitting your job, I encourage you to use this time to better yourself, to learn something new, to start a side gig or a side hustle, all whilst looking for that billion-dollar idea. Because as soon as you take that big leap into the career change world, you will find that there are new challenges, new fears, new concerns that all arise, and they'll make taking future bold moves a little bit more daunting. You see, right now, whilst you have 0 clients in your new business or your new niche, or you don't have a job in that new field, you can take risks. You can create blog posts, you can try and develop your experience, but once you have that first client in your new role, it becomes a little bit harder because you don't want to do something that scares away all those new clients, especially when you've taken the risk to get there in the first place. So when can you quit your job? It's a complicated question. I'll try and keep the answer as brief as possible because I'll cover it again in more detail in a future video. In my eyes, you need to have covered the concerns that you have personally over changing career or changing job or starting that business. But you also need to consider the concerns of a partner if you have one, and also those of your parents. Not because you need to be afraid of disappointing those people, but they might have ideas and risks that you haven't considered. And that takes me to the next point, which is try and build a runway for yourself. And I mean, of course, financial runway. It's great to have a cash supply so that on day one, you don't instantly have to worry about how your bills are going to get paid. The longer the runway, the better, but not so long that you sacrifice time where you could be in that new role. All of this is a balancing act and trying to find what works for you. And lastly, if you're changing to a new field or picking up new skills, learning something new that you want to monetize, you need to get to at least what I like to call advanced beginner. Now, advanced beginner is the first point at which you become an expert to someone, and that's as simple as being able to solve a problem that they can't. Once you reach advanced beginner status and you plan on continuing to learn and develop your skills, in my eyes, you are ready to start something new. So thanks for stopping by. If you're new here and you've got this far through the video, thanks. I appreciate it. Consider subscribing. A like and a comment is always welcome. And I will speak to you again in a couple of days with back to normal programming, 1 or 2 videos every week, ideally 2, depending on the upload speeds behind the Great Firewall of China. I'll speak to you again next week. And yeah, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.